Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Health Sciences, SOHS, Diploma Programs. Diploma in Nursing Administration, DNA. BNS 01 to Management of Educational Institute, Hospital and Community. Block 1 Administration of Educational Institute. Unit 4 Faculty Administration. 4.0 Objectives. After studying this unit, you will be able to define the faculty administration, explain the need for faculty administration, state the various elements of faculty administration, appreciate the preparation and planning, designing, recruiting, selecting, and training of the faculty required in an educational institution. Describe how to organize the faculty of an educational institution. Supervise and counsel the faculty. Formulates various policies required in the School of Nursing. Write the job description of teaching faculty of School of Nursing. List the importance of record maintained and demonstrate having good interpersonal relation intra and interdepartmental. 4.1 Introduction. The faculty of any educational institution, whether it is a college or a school of nursing, it plays important role in preparation of nursing graduates with desired knowledge and skill. The scope of faculty administration is as vast as that of education itself. The faculty, especially the School of Nursing, includes principal, vice principal, tutors, clinical instructor, and public health nurses. They are appointed against the post in schools and whose responsibilities are directly related to the educational program. External lecturers are also part of the faculty and they may not be directly associated with the institution. Any activities performed for the achievement of educational goals is a part in faculty administration. These activities could be at the college, department, university, or at the central level. The faculty administration brings these targets closer to the student. In this unit, you will learn details of faculty administration, which will include the definition, need, and elements of faculty administration. 4.2 Definition. We shall now start with the meaning of faculty administration. Faculty administration is defined as the systematic enabling process of assessing, planning, recruiting, organizing the faculty for any educational institution and maintaining conducive working condition along with the facilities for supervision and guidance, policies formulation, and monitoring and evaluation. It may be said as the process of assigning competent people to fill the roles designed for an educational institution through the management function of employing and developing human resources for carrying out the various teaching functions. 4.3 Need for faculty administration. Faculty administration is essential in order to prepare and plan the required number of teaching and non-teaching faculty as per laid down policies. Determine and predict which type of faculty required for an educational institution. Ensure adequate qualified, best fitted, skilled and experienced nursing faculty and their optimal utilization. Provide favorable working condition. Maintain effective method of regular consultation between the administration, faculty, and students. Provide the opportunity of professional and personal growth for faculty. Achieve competences in performances of their duties and make fit for promotion. Develop appropriate scheme for welfare of the faculty. Maintain the faculty records. Maintain standards of remuneration as per the UGC grant. Upgrade and promote the existing faculty whenever possible. Let us now discuss in section 4.4 about the different elements of faculty administration in order to maintain the standard and quality of teaching, which is one of the most important Aspects of any educational institution having major impact on the students. 4.4 Elements of faculty administration. In this subsection, you will learn about elements of faculty administration, planning, designing, recruiting, selecting, training of the faculty, organization of faculty, supervision and counseling, curriculum planning, policies formulation, training and staff development, maintenance of records, human resource management, performance appraisal, budgeting. 4.4.1 Planning for nursing faculty. Faculty administration includes the assessment and planning of the faculty for the College 1 School of the Nursing. The principal is the head of the educational institution. Heishe performs the executive or managerial task of enrolling the faculty which is to be desired in all 3 area of quality, quantity and utilization. The principal is responsible for ensuring the proper supply of manpower for the future need of the organization, including its expansion and diversification. The organization needs requisite skill, attitude, and experience for the teaching job, which will fulfill the objectives of educational institution. The number of faculty required depends upon the following: the objectives, philosophy of institution, number of students intake, number of courses program and its objectives. The principal develops the methods of recruitment, selection, appointment, induction, orientation and placing of a right faculty on the right job after deciding the qualification and job description. 4.4.2 Organization of faculty. An educational program can be carried out more effectively and more easily if the teaching staff is organized as a group for the development of the program and for following reasons: determines the number of position and scope and responsibility of each faculty and staff, analyzes the job to be done in terms of needs of educational program, prepares the job description and indicates the line of authority, responsibility and channel of communication, maintains a plan of workload among staff member keeping in mind the ability and interest of the person, provides an organizational framework for effective staff functioning such as meeting of the staff. This can be achieved by forming the various committees and teachers' council. Each faculty member should assume some definite responsibilities in the committee so that every person may feel involved in its program. If the faculty is quite large, then there should be sub-committees. All committees should be formally organized with their purposes, functions and membership clearly stated. The accurate minutes of the meeting should be recorded and circulated to all members. Some of the committees suggested are as following: General Coordinating Committee. The purpose of the committees is to bring the faculty members together at regular intervals to discuss the problems. This will include the entire faculty member, librarian and other full-time staff. The warden can be co-opted member if the hostel is to be discussed. They should have specific plan for the teachers' academic growth. Curriculum Committee, accountable for overall planning of curriculum, selection, and organization of contents. External lecturers and representative from student body may be included in their committee. Evaluation Committee will be responsible for the evaluation of the students to monitor the students' progress on the basis of their grades, reports and total performance. Fixing up the additional study hour for the weak students to in order to bring their performance up to required standard. Disciplinary Committee deals with the maintenance of the discipline of the students. and makes recommendation on the disciplinary action when required. Welfare Committee will be for the periodic review of the policies and all matters relating to health and welfare of the staff. Library Committee, responsible for the budgeting, selecting books and all other functions pertaining to maintenance of college library. Selection Committee deals with the methods of recruitment and selection of the students as per the laid down policies of the controlling authorities. 4.4.3 Supervision and Counseling Faculty. The supervision ESA process by which teachers are helped by designated staff members to make the best use of knowledge and skills and to improve their abilities. This will help the faculty to grow, to perform in their duties more effectively and to give them assistance in accepting knowledge and techniques necessary for self-development. The functions of supervisors/administrators in any educational institution relating to the faculty administration are to help the institution and the teacher to become a better teacher. This particular objective aims at helping and guiding the working of the school and the work of the teacher in bringing about the desired development. This contributes to improving the classroom teaching learning process, gives guidance within field of competence and helps the learner to grow in self-understanding. To help the individual teachers in diagnosing the deficiencies in his or her performances and to find out remedies for them. A good supervisor helps the teacher to diagnose this and assists him to have a correct and adequate performance in the school. To see the practicability and reflection of the curriculum prescribed or pre-planned for the school college of nursing. The principal has to examine how far the curriculum prescribed for a class is implemented satisfactorily and whether there is any difficulty in implementing the same. In case of any difficulty, he has to come their help in removing that difficulty by tending out an appropriate solution to it or by modifying the curriculum keeping the INC objectives intact. He can also assist in drafting a curriculum for the school college. A supervisor aims at stimulating, coordinating and guiding the efforts of the teachers, both individually and collectively, for making their performance more effective. To evaluate the scholastic attainments of the students to find out how far the abilities, attitudes, skills and on the whole the behavior of the individual student of nursing are modified. To assess the performance and personality of the teachers to sustain excellence, there may be two types of teachers in a school. Some of them may be above standard and some may be poor. A good principal encourages and helps the better ones to sustain their standard while he encourages and provides academic and professional guidance to the weak ones to come up to the level through various media like refresher courses, center meetings, group discussions, etc. To arrange in-service training courses for the teachers to promote their professional growth and competence. To guide the teachers in utilizing newly invented group dynamics. To assist teachers in making better use of an audiovisual aids and to guide the teachers in utilizing locally available materials as aids in the teaching learning process. To assist in utilizing community resources and involve the community in schoolwork whenever possible. To see whether there is reasonable balance of physical and mental activities in the school of nursing. To guide in improving the totality of the teaching-learning situation in the school. To help the administrators and teachers to deal successfully with the increasing complexity in the educational program and help them in keeping pace with the advancing educational theory and practice. To locate and make available expert in nursing research personnel. To encourage teachers to take up innovative projects in providing nursing care. to help in finding remedies to check the high rate of dropouts that cause so much wastage in nursing institution, to help in successfully planning the utilization of the expertise of other persons, specialized and officials for the betterment of the nursing education, to assist in helping problematic children in the school, to guide community health education program being taken up by the school. Faculty. 4.4 The curriculum planning. A curriculum is a systematic arrangement of total duration of the educational program and total instructional hours of theory and practical in selected clinical experience planned by a school college for a defined group of students to attain the aim of the educational program. 4.4.5 Formulation of policies. The policy and procedures manual are required for efficient functioning of the school College of Nursing. The condition under which the faculty works have an effect on the implementation of the program as it contributes towards the stability of the staff. It can also reduce the frustration, conflicts, resignation and request for transfer if there are clearly defined policies relating to working or welfare of the staff and other matters. These can be effective when the staff have been involved in formulating them. The policies should be written and known to everyone. The components of policies for faculty are as following. Policies regarding selection and training procedures. Policies regarding term and condition of faculty, e.g., working hours, teaching load, leave, wages, allowances, holidays, vacation discipline, welfare activities and promotion, medical facilities and other benefits. Educational facilities for the faculty, e.g., orientation, in-service education and its attendance, attendance at conference, accommodation, policies regarding implementation of curriculum, policies for admission of students and others policies related to students. For X, tilde MPLE if the policies have to be formed on term and condition then it should give direction on the following. The maximum hours of working per week. The number of days off per month. Procedure for restricted closed holidays. Schedule of classes. Hour of clinical supervision. Attendance of staff in students' activities. To what extent they required to participate in students' activities and so on. Leave, annual, casual, medical leave, etc. Discipline. 4.4.6 Training and Staff Development. The importance of training is very obvious. However, training should be based on an assessment of the needs of different groups and individuals. The training needs may flow from performance as well as from potential appraisal systems, both internal and external. Resources should be used and enough attention should be paid to the preparation of training materials, packages and modules. There are 4 types of training. Induction training, which is given to the new faculty with the objectives of teaching them to handle the job properly. Training for promotion is providing to fill up higher posts. Refresher training is arranged through short-term courses. The continuous evaluation of training would also be necessary in order to see the effectiveness of the training. 4.4.7 Maintenance of records and reports. It refers to the gathered information on personnel in the organization. It maintains information from the application form, interview and training received, etc. It helps in supplying information required by government. The various information about individual teachers, their biographical information, critical attributes, performance record, potential records, special rewards given, promotions given, special events, etc., will continue to grow. In every organization, such information will be needed continually for various purposes like promotion, placement, and formation of special groups to deal with problems, etc. It may be necessary to computerize such information and develop a system for its easy and quick retrieval and continued updating. 4.4.8 Human Resource Management. The human relation are an essential elements in directional component of faculty administration. The interpersonal relation or human relation is concerned primarily with helping faculty to work efficiently and to give their best through cordial human relations. Human resource management helps in diagnosing of problem of human resources in the nursing educational institution. It helps in building the team spirit at various levels. Morale and motivation of people in general is improved. Develops healthy values and tries out various ways of solving problems. It also helps the individual to develop professionally through training, feedback, and counseling by their senior officers and other development efforts. 4.4.9 Performance Appraisal. After going through this subsection, you will come to know about performance appraisal. You can go to Course I, Block 4. Performance appraisal is a systematic evaluation of an individual with respect to his performance on the job. It measures faculty's worth to the organization. The objective is to analyze the strength and weakness of the faculty members and to provide feedback to the faculty to improve. Performance appraisal is important for promotion, compensation, faculty development, motivation, and communication. The purpose of an assessment is to provide means of appraisal the immediate and potential value of an employee. It should not aim at criticism but an improvement of performance through recognition of their strength and weakness. The various aspects of faculty assessment are qualities of performance, that is technical competencies, mental qualities, supervisory qualities and managerial competencies, personal qualities such as coping, processing and helping competence, and capacities for further development. Various tools are used to evaluate the performance of the faculty as follows: anecdotal records, rating scale, checklist, self-appraisal, peer review, assessment by students, ranking, and management by objectives. It is important to provide feedback of performance appraisal and related counseling services to the faculty. In contrary, the whole course of performance appraisal is likely to become a fatal exercise. 4th April 2010 Budgeting. It is the form of salary, incentive tied to the job. It may be the method of attracting employee to do work. Elements of budget are salaries, bonus, long-term income, benefits, ESTNTC building plans. Budgeting is an important area. It includes income and expenditure, their accounting and auditing. A success -11 administrator must keep himself intimately in touch with the financial position all the organization, as he is responsible for. He must know the possible sources of income and the items of expenditure under various heads. The scope of the college school plan may he spelled OLI as under for the budget purpose. Improvement of physical facilities. I. Improvement of teachers and of library services. Improvement of co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Participation in community health programmers, etc. Salaries of staff and faculties. Provision for A.W. aids. Budget for transport facilities. Provision for contingencies. 4.5 Summary. Faculty School of Nursing include principal, vice principal, tutors, clinical instructor, public health nurses and so on. They are appointed against the post in schools and whose responsibilities are directly related to the educational program. External lecturers are also part of the faculty and they may not be directly associated with the institution. The elements of good faculty administration are as following: planning, designing, recruiting, selecting, training of the faculty, organization of faculty, supervision and counseling, curriculum planning, policies formulation, training and staff development, maintenance of records, human resource management. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel for more updates, and we will see you with the